We join Alpha Joe as he explodes the last container in this site. No cherry picking around here. You want to clear these sites, so any new players won't stay long. You may also notice that Joe now keeps notes on the current systems with a storm. He also writes down the IDs of the non-relic sites, so he can ignore them when logging back in. The ruins container has 26 million ISK. Let's hack that first. This is a very hard hack. Don't screw this up. Failed. I think Joe gave up too easily. Since the start is near the middle, the system core can be anywhere. I don't think he plays this correctly. Joe gets lucky. Almost 2 billion ISK. Let's speed through the next hack. Alpha Joe has now reached the 2 billion ISK mark. With 2 billion ISK in his ship's cargo, Alpha Joe will be much more careful with his hacking activities. The two players in local were last seen docked in a station. Joe flies to his perch bookmark to check on them. This perch is 100 kilometers away from the station. See the number 2 in the brackets. This means they are still docked.
Warp drive active.
It's somewhat safe to start hacking. But Joe will continue to spam the D-scan, just in case they undock. Since these two don't come out, I'll skip ahead about 10 minutes later. Okay, we have a new player in local, and there's a Heck 8 ship on D-scan. This is a ship all explorers should fear. It can quickly scan your ship down and kill you in one shot. Here we go, his combat probes are out. Joe quickly warps to a bookmark. Joe will add this guy as a contact and set his status as red. This is a good way to keep track of players around you, and is especially useful when hacking in these storms. You will start to see a lot of the same players hanging around, and having the hunters marked as red can save your life. Joe decides it's time to log out. Don't tempt fate. He logs back in to find an empty system and one relic site.
Warp drive active.
Now it's back to work. Ugh, a player enters the system. Let's do this site quickly. Too late, probes are out. Now we see this is an Astero. Joe will still complete his cargo scans. If there's a high-value container, he might have time to hack it. Some good cans, but time is running out, so Joe starts to fly away from the site. The guy has pulled his probes. He's probably warping in now. Yep, there he is. An Astero cannot be scared off by a simple Heron ship. So all we can do is sit by and watch him hack this site for about 50 million ISK. C'est la vie. We now skip ahead to the next day. It's a new day, and we have 5 players in this system, 3 of which Joe has marked red. Since there are no ships on D-scan, he starts to scan down these 2 signatures. Checking the map, we see there are 2 active players nearby. And 5 dock players in this system. This could be the 5 players in local, but we should proceed with caution. Joe continues to scan, watching for any activity. But really, he should fly to the perch bookmark to verify these 5 players are actually docked in that station. To be perfectly safe, don't hack in systems with anyone in local.
Warp drive active.
Alpha Joe is flying around just to be sure no ships are on D-scan. But be aware, ships that are cloaked will not show up on your D-scan. This is another reason that Joe should have checked their station. Everyone can have different levels of paranoia, but with 5 billion ISK in his cargo, Alpha Joe should be careful.
Warp drive active.
A new signature has appeared. We should do this new site first, since we can be sure that no one else has scanned it yet.
Warp drive active.
Joe flies close to this site so he can start watching for any other probes out. The coast is clear. Time to knock out this relic site.
Warp drive active.
Okay, time for the other two sites. Joe checks on these players' corp and alliance information to verify these guys are all locals. Both relic sites are out of D-scan range, so Joe warps close to one of them.
Warp drive active.
No ships on D-scan, so Joe feels lucky.
Warp drive active.
You can relax and enjoy hacking a lot more when you are in an empty system. But since Joe didn't check the station for these players, any one of them could be cloaked up next to one of these containers. This is more a tactic used in wormholes. But in any case, Joe should be ready to warp out quickly if trouble arrives. Nice, 12 million ISK in this one. Let's get hacking. Notice the D scan every few seconds. This was an easy hack. This rubble container is 3 million ISK. Watch the D-scan on this one. You can tell Joe is nervous. There is a cheetah on D-scan. Joe quickly grabs the loot and warps out.
Warp drive active.
Now a saber is coming. They mean business. Both ships are now on grid with us, but we are already in warp. We are safe for now. Watch the D-scan. The cheetah comes back on D-scan. He is trying to follow us. But we warped to a bookmark, so they can't find us without combat probes.
Warp drive active.
That saber can drop warp bubbles, so he could have easily caught us if we didn't start warping right away. This is why it's important to spam that D-scan and to warp out at the first sign of trouble. Joe says, it's time to skedaddle. When you escape near death like that, those hunters will want to track you down. Once you've been spotted, don't use any of the gates. They could easily have their friends covering the gates by now. Time to say, peace out and happy hacking.